Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick second to talk about hoverboard batteries. A lot of people really get hung up on name brands like, oh, is it a Samsung battery? Is it an LG battery? Don't get hung up on name brands. Most of the time, if someone's calling something a Samsung battery, it's just a counterfeit sticker slapped on there, so name brand really isn't going to tell you a whole lot of anything. And it really doesn't even matter if you have a Samsung or an LG battery as long as you have a quality battery. So today we're going to be looking at a quality battery and a dangerous battery, a poorly constructed or poorly wired battery. So as you can see here, I got them labeled already. The one on the top is improperly wired and it's a fire hazard. The one on the bottom is properly wired. Now you guys can probably tell by looking at it there's some differences between these two, even though all of them are basically like electric e-cigarette lithium-ion batteries, basically what these things are made out of, like, packed together. But if we look up here at the top, there's a piece of metal forming a square here that's touching, and I don't know what to call it, the circuits of all the batteries, and that's all wired into one big solder there. So these ones are all together, then we have these ones all together, and then this whole strip of four is all together. Now this is improperly wired and it's not really safe, and I'll explain why in a second. If we look down here, you can see how this battery, every single battery cell is individually wired and monitored. So I'm not an electrical engineer, I'm not really even an expert on this type of stuff, but a good buddy of mine who works on golf carts and motorcycles and a lot of electrical vehicles kind of explained this to me. He works on these things on a daily basis, he's an expert with them. Basically, the way this is wired, there's no shutoff like there is here, but the way that this is all wired, if, let's say, this battery cell goes bad, because they're all charging as a pack, if this one isn't getting a full charge, it's going to overcharge one of these other ones to compensate for the battery that isn't charging or isn't charging well, which leads to having one overcharged battery cell and another undercharged battery cell. Now, it's a fire hazard to have one undercharged or to have it overcharged. No, not only is it a fire hazard, but it's just not good for the health of the battery. Batteries are kind of like muscles. They need to work out. You want to charge them up and let them drain, charge them up, let them drain. But when one of these stops working, it's going to overcharge the other ones, and it's just not healthy for the battery, and it's a risk of starting a fire. Now this one down here, everything is wired individually, so if this cell goes bad, the rest of the cells or another cell is not going to be overcharged to compensate for the one bad cell because it's wired individually. So that's really the main difference there. As far as what battery you have, without really busting open your battery pack, there's no way of really knowing for sure. However, I would venture, I think from now moving forward, because of all the scrutiny on these, I think people are going to be starting to do them properly. But there's so many that have been already produced, and there's so many of these batteries, they're not going to throw them in the garbage here. They're going to keep selling these. And early on, I think a lot of the earlier boards were made of these. So, total shot in the dark here, but, out of everyone watching this video, let's say 1,000 people watch this video, I bet you 8 out of 10 of you, if you open up your battery pack, would find a battery like on the top here, and not like the one on the bottom. I wouldn't be, overly concerned about this. If you want to get a replacement battery, I'll link in the description box below where you can get a replacement Samsung battery that will be wired like this. I wouldn't freak out about it. If you're charging your hoverboard, you just be around the house, don't charge it and go to the mall, be at home when it's charging, so if anything does happen, you're right there to catch it. But I wouldn't be overly concerned about it catching on fire or anything else. Just use some common sense. Don't overcharge it. Don't leave it charging overnight. Don't charge it when you're leaving the house, and you really shouldn't have any problems. So, just wanted to kind of break down the whole battery thing, as I see it's kind of a hotly contested issue, and people seem way too hung up on just the name Samsung and LG. All you really need is a quality battery, and a lot of sellers will actually show you pictures of what their batteries look like on the inside. So this on the bottom is a quality battery and a safe battery. This on the top is an unsafe and poor quality battery. Hopefully the video helped you out. Give it a thumbs up if it did. I know a lot of people have questions about batteries, so feel free to share this with your friends on forums, your member group, whatever else. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and we'll catch you in the next video, guys.